Hi, I'm Rebekah, and today's Hebrew vocab word is the word Shabbat. Now, Shabbat is the name of the seventh day of the week. Let me read you a couple of verses. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it because he Shabbated, or rested, from all his work. Genesis 2:3. In Exodus 34:21, he says, 6 days you shall work, but on the seventh day you shall rest. That's really interesting to me because if you weren't working for 6 days, you are actually not keeping this commandment. So Hadassah and I actually, we've been painting all day, and I've got paint on me and Band-Aids that are coming apart. It's the middle of the week right now, and we've been working. And frankly, I can't wait until Shabbat, a few more days away, so I can rest. I'm extremely tired and ready for a good serious rest, and looking forward to Shabbat coming up. But that's kind of why I'm looking a little frazzled today, is that I'm working. The Hebrew word for rested is It is the day set aside to rest, not as a reward for work completed, but actually just because we need it. Smack dab in the middle of work that is still not done, we are required to stop for 24 hours. Keeping Shabbat reminds ourselves that we're not enslaved anymore in Egypt. It's almost like we are required to thumb our nose at the evil kingdom that works its citizens to death. You know, the pagans work 24/7, and in the end it will destroy them. The Creator made us, and he knows that we need to rest regularly. Not only does keeping Shabbat keep us healthy, but keeps us in a state of remembering who our Creator is, and who made us, and what our relationship is to him. So our family absolutely loves Shabbat. So most of the time, it's our favorite day of the week. We get to sleep in if we want to, and for me that's like 6 a.m. We rest, we play, we cuddle, we get out in nature. Sometimes we study, but most of the time we eat, and then we eat some more, and then we eat some more. But we definitely don't do any usual work. Of course, there's the occasional, too many dishes on the counter so they have to get done things so you can eat. And then there's the occasional fight, and that's just because you've had such a huge, long week and you've come to a standstill and everything kind of piles up. But Shabbat is a state of mind and a state of heart that, yes, sometimes it is a little difficult to enter that state on command, but we get to practice it every 7 days over and over and over till we get better at it. I want you to understand that when I say Shabbat, I am not talking about Sunday. I am not talking about taking a Sabbath rest whenever you want to. I am not talking about a floating Shabbat like the lunar Sabbath teachers teach. All of this is chaos making. When it comes to Sabbath, we have inherited many, many lies. And right in line with what the Israelites are famous for, we are continuing to buy the lies like a she-camel in heat. Israel loves to have their ears itched. So quickly, Shabbat has never been, nor will ever be, Sunday. That was Constantine's idea. Yahweh says that Shabbat will always be on the seventh day of the week, not any old day of the week that you want it to be. And Shabbat will never be found according to the moon. By looking at what day Yeshua kept in a simple read of the Scriptures, we see that Shabbat is the seventh day of the week, period. Yeshua did not keep Sunday, he did not keep the lunar Sabbath, or any day that he wanted to. He kept the seventh day holy just as his Father asked him and all of Israel to do. He also kept the high Shabbats that are part of the Creator's feast days, but we're going to actually talk about those in another block. But just so you know, there are 7 high Shabbats throughout the year that can fall on other days of the week besides Shabbat. But we actually need to get this weekly Shabbat thing and the weekly rhythm down before those will make any sense whatsoever. In Exodus 28, he says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, or keep it kadosh, or set apart. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath to Yahshua your Elohim, or to God. This is really simple, people. You work for 6, you rest for 1. Repeat. How hard can that be? If you insist that the disciples kept Sunday, you don't know your scriptures very well. You don't know Jewish life very well, and you don't know history very well. For they were all Messianic Jews, and they would have been keeping a fundamental truth like Shabbat. Their rabbi was Yeshua, and he never changed Shabbat to Sunday. In fact, he honored it even in death, if you'll notice. And if any of his disciples by chance started to preach another day, you are not to listen to them. Why? Because they are not your rabbi. You have only one rabbi, and that is Yeshua. Yeshua's words and teachings trump everyone else's words and teachings. But actually, I guarantee you that his followers were not keeping Sunday. They never would have dishonored him like that after his death. Keeping Shabbat is also a sign that you are in covenant with God. Actually, I want to talk about that in another block because that's a big idea. So, practice with me right now. Shabbat. Shabbat. You can say Sabbath too, but I like Shabbat. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat. Oh yeah, Shabbat. Shabbat. Practice Shabbat. So, when you hear me say Shabbat, you'll know what I mean now. In all the next videos, and if I ever say that again, you'll know what I mean. I am talking about the weekly Shabbat happening on the 7th day of the week, Saturday. And I am talking about the high Shabbat during Yahweh's feast days, the biblical feast. So to apply this word to your life, the first thing you would do would be to begin calling the 7th day of the week by its right name. Not Saturday, but Shabbat or Sabbath. And then you apply the meaning of the word to your life by working for 6 days and then Shabbating for 1. Work from Sunday through Friday, and then Friday night at sunset, you rest until Saturday evening sunset. That is Shabbat. So you apply this word and the meaning of it to your life by doing it. And I would suggest you start doing it before you keel over and die because you're working too hard. And also, before you are found honoring another day besides the day the Creator sanctified. I wouldn't want to be you if I was doing something that He said not to do. So, I hope you join me next time for another Hebrew vocab word. And the word is going to be Shalom. Technically, Shalom Aleikhem. So we'll see you then. Bye-bye.